Once upon a time, the venerable ruler of a noble kingdom decided that he was too old to run the land. He had 3 good and handsome sons, but he could not choose which one to be the new king. The king decided to judge them by the wife that they would marry. He gave them each an enchanted arrow. Wherever this arrow fell, they would begin their search for their new wives.
Shoot some arrows!
As the king commanded, the oldest son drew back his bow. The arrow landed next to a wealthy merchant's daughter.
Yes!
The second son pulled back his bow, and the arrow landed by a wealthy noblewoman out for a ride on her horse.
Victory!
The youngest prince drew back his bow with all his might, but shot his arrow in the swamp.
Oh, not so magic after all, I see. Pardon me, but may I please have my arrow back?
Of course, young prince, but only if you marry me.
Marry you? But you are a frog.
Think of how upset your father will be if you don't return with his magic arrow.
Well, all right.
The first trial was announced soon after they all returned.
Weave me a carpet.
How are you to weave a carpet? You are a frog! You can't do anything but sit, jump, croak, and talk, apparently.
Do not worry, dearest. I will handle everything. Some thread of the finest silk, from the earth bring veins of gold, that I may weave a carpet bright, graced with lovely gems of light, and finished by the end of night, when my true love's hands must the treasure hold.
Seeing that it was the finest, the king chose the frog's carpet.
Oh, I could rest my feet on that.
He had 2 more tests, though, and he sent them off to try their cooking skills.
I'm hungry. Make me a cake. Yes, a cake.
Oh,
What's wrong, dear?
my father wishes that you bake a cake. But how can you bake a cake? How would you even hold a whisk? And you could, give him warts through the cake.
Warts? That is toads! Are you calling me a toad?
No, of course not.
Now you go. I shall handle everything. From the sun's rays ablaze, bake a cake to amaze. Let it be so fresh, quite simply the best, so that I may bake in the nighttime a cake for my true love's sake.
Now, the king tasted each cake, and, although the others were good, the frog's cake was the tastiest out of all of them, so she was declared the winner.
But this one's the best.
There was one last challenge, and this one could change the course of these trials.
Oh,
What is wrong, beloved?
the last challenge is beauty, and, well, you're not,
I'm beautiful. I'm the most graceful frog you've ever met. Am I not beautiful?
Of course you are. It's just, well, not the kind of beauty that they're looking for.
Go to the feast. I will join you later. I will handle everything.
The banquet had begun, but the special guest had not arrived. All throughout the feast, the youngest prince had to make excuses for his new wife not being there.
The banquet's almost over, my son. Where's your wife?
The night continued on, and on, and on. The king's patience was wearing thin, until, finally,
Come Now from the sky make me fine to the eye, bring my beauty of yore and my fair youth once more, and let me delight my dear love by the side.
Where's your wife?
Here I am.
This is your wife?
How? Aren't you a frog?
Of course I am, dearest. Now come, let us dance.
The prince and the princess were crowned, and for years later, many would tell the story of the frog princess.
And the moral of the story is, frog legs are delicious.
Kind hands led the king from the throne, and the son and his new bride began their ruling in earnest.